Now to outline the design, I use Gerard's Resist, which is the Gouda, which is like a little rubbery substance that keeps the dyes from flowing into each other. I've just recently got, this is black, I've just recently got their white, which I have never experimented with yet, and I look forward to using that. So to put this on, you need to stir this up really good. I found out it does make a difference. Sometimes it'll get thick if you don't stir it up really good. I just get a little plastic knife and stir it. Especially because you don't use it in between making banners. Then you can get a plastic bottle. This is clear. It's only black because of the Gouda in it. And the way I fill it up is I have it down, I squeeze the bottle, put the top in, and then release it, and it sucks up in the bottle. And then I wipe the outer edge off, and then you put the little tip on, and you think it would screw on, but it doesn't. It just presses on, and you think it's going to fall off, but it doesn't. You just press it on, and it's ready to go. I shake the Gouda down. When you go to use it, I get a paper towel and make a couple practice lines so you know it's coming out smoothly. On a very rare occasion, I've had it clog up, and then I keep a needle in a jar in case I have to unclog it. And I've had one time the plastic bottle had a hole in it, so that it kept kind of poofing and it had some air in it. So then you just figure out what's the matter. So you get a couple plastic bottles. I've also just found out just recently, somebody told me on the Arts and Science 50 anniversary page that there is Gouda in a bottle, in a tube. So it's easier, you just do the tube, you don't have to fill it all up. And it does get a little messy, but you just be careful and wipe it off. If it does get on something, it stays. This is a permanent marker. So you need to not wear your best garb when you're doing this. And I also put a protective coating tarp, this is a painter's cloth, on the ground because things do happen. And then when you start to outline, you start at the top and work down, because you don't want to drag your arm in the fresh Gouda. So you just follow your lines, and it's just like tracing again. And you're going to make the outline. And it's going to be a dark black, and that is going to hold your color, separate your colors. So I will be working on this banner, putting the Gouda on, and I will come back when I have that done. Now, this process can be done in one whole day, but that's a long day. I like breaking it up a few evenings. Pretty much takes a whole week. You do a little bit after work or a little bit in the evening, and that makes it nice. I've also had crunch time where something needed to be done right away, and I get up early in the morning to get it done. But it's not too bad. In a week, you can easily get this completed, if not one whole complete day. Now I'm done designing the outline of the standard. And when you're done with the bottle, it comes with a lid to put on, so that's the Gouda in the bottle stays really good in here. And when you are done, you need to take note if you have any lines like I do that go all the way to the end. I have some lines here and here. When I'm all done, I let it sit for a little bit, and the Gouda is ready after about an hour. You could actually do the outline, wait an hour, go eat lunch, come back, and then put the paint on, the stain. So, these lines, I actually turn this over, and I do extra on the back side on the hem. The hem has been my only problem when I do the dyes, because even when I put some Gouda on, it can sometimes wick. So when I do the dye, I do a really light stroke here of the color, and then I put the color on to try to keep it from bleeding. Sometimes that doesn't work, and then I make my line, I go back over it with Gouda and make my line thicker down here. Now we're ready to add a little color to the design. And at Dharma Trading, I found out that it says red in their color charts, but the real red, that's an orange red. Unfortunately, my first banners when I used red were really orange red. And that they used to say primary by that red. And I contacted them and said, you know, the scarlet is the real red. And it's kind of misleading. Soon afterwards, they did change that on their chart. I don't know if it was because I called in or for whatever reason. The scarlet is their primary red, and that's in the pigment dyes. If you get the Dynaflow dyes, they also have a problem with their blue on their color chart, to me. Their primary blue says azure blue. It's actually a real bright and lighter blue. Their cerulean is what I consider a blue. So you just want to keep that in mind if you're ordering, because I was disappointed and made some banners that I didn't like the colors. So now, when you do start doing your color, if I'm doing a real large area, I have bigger brushes. You want to keep, if you're doing a large area and you don't want lines, because it does dry, you have to just keep kind of going where it's wet. So you don't do one whole thing across the top and then come back, because then you'll have a line. So you kind of want to do sections. So I'm going to start adding the color here for our design. And like when I get near this line, I'm just going to touch a little bit of the color, and it kind of wicks over because it'll flow. So I don't do right next to the line, and then it also kind of acts as a stoppage. The other thing I've noticed on all their colors, both the Dynaflow and the pigment dyes, if I want it to look really good, I need to do 2 coats. I hate doing that, because every time you go back to your standard, you just have a chance of making more mistakes. And you will make mistakes. This isn't a perfect art. When you do the black outline, you hold it like you're holding a pen, and you just, like you're tracing. And then when you're adding the color, you just, like I said, just keep it going in one section. And you don't want to go, if you have a great big area, you don't want to go real fast. Like, ooh, got this big area. Because one little flick of the dye can go into the white area, and you can't get it out. Some people have told me they've used alcohol on cottons, but I haven't done that. So you just need to be careful so you don't get little flicks all around. So now we'll continue adding the color to this standard, and I'll show you what to do after that.